So a little update on the transmission crack saga. As you can see, it's all out. Comes out pretty easy. There's that thing. Now it looks like it's torn down. It is. Story there in a second. Here's all the goodies. Built this rack specifically for this reason, so I'd have room to put all this stuff. So it would have a home. Here's the transmission crack. The reason why this is all apart in the first place. You can see here. Stopped, drilled it. Was going to weld it. Got it all ready to go. Found this guy. I met a guy that does transmission builds for a lot of rental exotic places. So got me this. Made me a fair deal. A lot of the people want to charge like $2,000 for a case. It's like ridiculous just because it's Lamborghini. This guy made me a good deal, fair deal. It's not back together because unfortunately I'm an idiot and I called a friend of mine, Antonio Calvo, started BSing about transmission problems, and he talked me into a PPG gear set. So made me a deal I couldn't refuse. So we got PPG gears. Don't worry, still H pattern, not doing a sequential, but it should hold more power. Thus, this problem. More power means I need to build a bigger motor or a stronger motor. This is an LSA, badass for 1200 rear wheel, no problem. But LSA block, 4-bolt heads. It's gonna start lifting heads and pushing water probably pretty soon if I try to turn it up. So got that thing out, cleaned up, kind of ready to do either get it refreshed and sold or sell it as is or whatever. So if you need a motor and turbos, might have something for you. On to this guy. So I could just drop the turbos in, put the new motor in, run it as is, but because I'm an idiot and I want to change stuff for the fun of it, for sure I said I'm going to move this guy to the front, in front of the center radiator. It looked cool when it was brand new, but now you can kind of see it's starting to get dirty. You can see the outlines of the fans there and there, and just annoying. All the fins are kind of dented a little bit. It just happens from stuff, and so I decided to move that to the front, clear up this space to be open, which is cool. But running lines to the front and the back's gonna suck, but I'll figure it out. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna do that, what if I got rid of the intercooler, did like a Holley high ram? I'd have to lose the X. I'd have to figure that out, but maybe I'll run the X to the top up here or something. It's not as good, but do a Holley high ram with an intercooler built into it. And I'd get rid of all this, move the oil tank, do like a custom oil tank, maybe, I don't know, like right here. Put the turbos right here facing, inlets facing the center. So it'd be like a 90-degree bend here, 90-degree bend here. And that way the scoop that I use for the intercooler would now be the air inlet scoop. So you'd have two big ass air filters right here, feeding the turbos. They'd be symmetrical. So the compressor outlet goes straight into the motor, into a little Y. So they go like this and do a little Y. And the exhaust would loop around and go down under where all this is and go down out the back. So advantages, easier to work on the turbos, I guess. Don't know. I no longer, more room around the bottom of the engine too if I ever need to work on it, I guess. Never really been an issue, but it would make the bottom of the car really open. Wouldn't have to use electric scavenge pumps on the turbos. They've been super reliable, no problems, but it's another thing that can break and cause me to sit on the side of the road or whatever. So again, they've been reliable, but you never know. Most importantly, it looks fucking cool. I mean, to have the two turbos, you know, powder coat them or polish them or something, make them right in your face, symmetrical, so everything would look real nice. But I have to probably build a custom oil tank, which would suck. It's a ton of work. Probably the biggest downside is, well, I don't say the biggest. Things that bothers me as an engineer is now you move the weight up and behind the rear axle. I'd put the turbos in the spot they were because they're super low. I mean, they're as low as you can get. Literally, the oil drain is at the bottom of the car. Keeps it away from all the stuff that's fragile, obviously, electric plastic parts and things, obviously, get the engine bay cooler, but lower center of gravity, all the way near the right, barely in front of the rear axle, which is perfect for handling. So, what can I actually tell the difference between a turbo mounted 20 inches higher and 20 inches farther back? Probably not, but it's the principle matter, right? Anyway, so the very, very least, I'm going to move this to the front, build maybe like a carbon patch panel for that so it looks nice. I'll duct this air into the engine bay forward just to get more airflow to the engine bay because I'm going to close off the bottom with a flat panel with the new motor too. I've been meaning to do it anyway. But the big question is, do I move the turbos? Sounds like a shit ton of work. So I don't know, but it sure would look cool. Wouldn't be quite as OEM looking. Obviously with two turbos stare at your face when you open it. You will see it through the glass too, but it might be pretty cool. I don't know. If you've stayed this long and you got an opinion on the matter, love to hear your thoughts. Oh yeah, also I put the turbos down low as I'm going to build a 4-inch pipe that comes up from down all the way down, goes into this faux carbon panel. It's just a closeout panel for the fender, just so it looks good. You can see this side, it's not there, so you can see it's just ugly, but there's a panel that closes that as well, and run the air filters into those vents, into those corners. And then eventually, I don't know if I'll have time to do it now, depends on how long the motor takes, make these out of carbon and make these ducts, kind of like the new GT4 is. So it'll duct fresh air straight to the air filters. I'm gonna do that for sure, it's just a matter of timing. So anyway, so to make my life more complicated or not, that is the question.